Let's go.
We're going now. Hi, this is Paul Slatkus. We're here with good news, and we have a lot of good news here. I love Queens. I love the Queens Film Festival, and we have a team of filmmakers. And the founder, Kathy, are you the founder of the organization?
I am one of the founders, and I've recently been released from the bondage of curlers, so I'm ready to go. I'm one of the founders. My husband and I founded this in 2011.
And I've been out there and I've interviewed you through our good friend, mutual friend. It's all about camaraderie, David Archer, and the goodness of everybody working together to put on the film festival, to give the filmmakers an opportunity to share their hard, loving, caring, kind. It takes a lot to make a film, and we're going to talk about that. And the Queens Film Festival, actually, I have a buddy of mine, he just said, that Queens Film Festival is continuing to do really well in the eyes of, the world. So tell us about how the Queens Film Festival started, where we're at right now, what's coming, how people can get involved, and we'll take it from there. And then we're going to learn about some wonderful films, I think, in the environmental world, as well as just making the world a better place.
Well, thank you for having us, Paul. And I know that I'm honored, and I know our filmmakers are really honored. You've done just years and years and years of incredible work of bringing great stories forward into the community. So we're thrilled to be here. So the Queensville Film Festival started in 2010, actually, and in response to previous film festivals that had not honored the borough in a way that we felt was fitting. And so those of us kind of came together and said, what if people who actually lived here and who were actual filmmakers did this? And so that's where we started. We were going to do it for a year or two, and then it really started to do well. And we're really honored to be in this position, to be looking at the world and what the world is concerned about. And filmmakers all over the world are interested in screening here because we have an audience for any film in the world, which is very, very exciting. This year, we're screening 157 films from 27 nations, and we had a much shorter submission period because we've moved to November for a variety of reasons. We did 2 pandemic festivals in the spring, where we always have, and we just thought we'll get out of the way for last summer because people that hadn't been able to do anything, we'll just get out of the way and let other people come forward. And there were galas and all these wonderful things. And so then we moved to November. And as I said, we had a shorter submission period, but we got twice as many films. We're at the level that we were pre-pandemic, and I think that there's a few reasons. I think that people were faced with a global situation that said, finish your films. Finish them. Okay. Don't wait. Finish them. And I think that there were some communities that had time because maybe they were home more. But I think what happened said to all of us, we perhaps have moved away and looked away from our driving questions, our personal driving questions, and it's time to turn into that and lean into that. So the work this year is far more personal than we've ever had, edgier. People are not pulling their punches. They are staying true to their vision. They're speaking truth to power. Even in fanciful, wonderful, loving pieces, you can tell that we're not messing around anymore. And I'm just so proud of all of our filmmakers, especially the 2 that are here. Their work is hopeful. They have shown great resilience themselves, and their work inspires all of us to remember that there's something greater for all of us. And if we can just put our hand on it, we don't need to lift the whole thing. If you can just lift your tiny piece and hold it up, we got a shot at this.
Wowee! You're a film of unto yourself. That's for sure. I remember the last time I spoke with you. You're just a dynamo for humanity. And so it's all good. Well, let's go to hear a little more about some of the films. So maybe Gali, tell us a little bit about your film. Is that okay? We'll go that way?
Yeah.
All righty. Well, introduce yourself and tell us about your film and your passion.
So first of all, thank you for having me. I did my film together with Leila Zeli, we did equally together. We are co-directors. She couldn't be here today, but I represent us. And And our film will be in the 2nd of November in the block of the Remarkable Women. And we are super proud to be part of it. And basically, so I'm originally from Israel. I'm currently based in Berlin, Germany. And Leila is originally from Iran. And she's based in Montreal, Canada. And basically, for us to be friends or in any kind of relationship, it's illegal. And we've decided that we don't follow the rules or the politics of the countries we come from. And we met in Canada in an artist residency in 2018. And we decided to start a journey together. And we created a short animation. It's about the forbidden friendship of an Israeli airport, an Israeli aircraft, and the highest mountain in Iran. And, and it's based on our forbidden friendship. The script is based on our daily conversations, which we basically did for 3 months every day since the first lockdown of COVID-19 in March 2020. Yeah, that's.
But we're involved with peace, and you're involved with peace. You've made a peace movie. I see. I can see, and that's why Katha has, I think, suggested you to us to hear about a movie like this, because a movie can change a lot of people's perspective, especially if they get to see it. If people are allowed to get to see it. There's a lot of difficulties in making movies that are. I think you said a word there that was very sad to hear, that it's illegal for you to be friends. Did I hear that word correctly? Did I hear that?
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing. God almighty. And so, well, so it's animated? Did you say animated also?
Yeah.
So how do you animate so what is there how'd you do that?
Yeah, so basically the entire film is about a dialogue. And it was important for us that also the visuals becomes a dialogue. So there is the world, also the creative world that I come from, which is stop motion animation, which is building physically models. And then there is the world that Leila comes from, which is more 2D collage and 2D drawings. And so my character, Chofit, the airplane, built physically and shot frame by frame in Berlin. And Leila created the mountain dam, all 2D computer collage, drawn, and then we combined it together. And the idea was to see how two worlds, in the end, also the combination together, how you can create these two different aesthetics into one. Yeah.
Yeah, two technically and emotionally. Wow, that's exciting. Well, we have to see this.
I hope you.
No, we're going to see this. Seeing is believing, I think, in our business, right? That's that in essence becomes the big win for so many. Well, that's great. Is it, Katha, is it on your website, or how do people get to see that if they're unable to come to Queens, New York? One second.
We are doing a virtual festival, and Galia, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at everything on that. Are you participating in that?
Yeah. I already uploaded.
That's awesome, and we really appreciate that, because I do feel that this is such an important film. Both of these films are very important to share widely. So over the next few days, we'll be finalizing that, and then on the website, you'll be able to. Right now, you can go and buy a ticket for Remarkable Women. You just go to her film page, to the film page. There's a link there. And in the next few days, we'll post the link for the virtual festival. this block, Remarkable Women, is something very exciting to us. We are honoring 5 women from the cultural community, and it's really a global community. It's Sade Lithcott and Lucy Sexton and Terrence Sacramone, Ellen Kottadek, and Sandra Schulberg. So we curated a group of films that we're calling Remarkable Women, and we're screening it on the honoree night for the 4 of them. We're screening Filmmakers for Prosecution for Sandra the next night. But it's really remarkable how women's voices have traditionally not been amplified and we have not traditionally been the first to be asked our opinion in the room, which is interesting because we alone are able to actually bring life onto the planet, and that gives you a few insights into the process of living. And so to have that night to celebrate these women is very, very important to me. They brought the entire World Cultural Committee together through Culture at 3. It's an amazing process what they started. And this film that we're talking about, the metaphors go triple deep, quadruple deep. Actually, when my husband was watching it, I walked by the room and I said, "Aren't you on the 3rd screening of that, dude? Come on, let's get this going." And he said, "I have to make sure that I am understanding what I'm seeing." I said, "I don't want to characterize this." I said, "Well, are we in? Are we out?" I said, "It's in, but I need to understand this more." And he said, "Every time you watch it, the frame goes deeper and you understand and you feel more." And it's exciting to have this film on Remarkable Women. We thank you so much.
Wowie, zowie. All right, well, happy Diwali now. See if we're going to go to India. And are you in India right now?
Yes, I am. And I'm sure you can hear the firecrackers, so please bear with me. I'm at my home right now, and there might be these firecrackers going on because it's Diwali time here in India.
What is Diwali for those that might not know?
Diwali is a festival that we celebrate. It's a festival of light, and it's derived from a mythological story that happened in India, that Lord Ram came back from his Vanvas, and that's how we celebrate Diwali. And it's a big festival here in India. It's as equivalent to Christmas in New York.
Okay, all right. I know a little bit about this. It's all good. I know about it a little bit because I at one time have Asian marketing advertising company, and I brought Raj Kapoor's daughter, Ritu Nanda. I helped Sprint sponsored her to go all around the country to talk about her dad, and she wrote a book called The Joker. And tell us about how large the studios are in India, right? And the Kapoor family. And I mean, you're serious filmmakers there in that big old country, right?
Yeah, I mean, the names that you're talking about are too big for my shoe on. I don't know how much I can talk about them. It's a space which is very commercial here. Of course, in India, films are really big. And even we don't come from a film background, and neither the producer and the co-writer who has worked with me on this film, a beautiful lady called Sonali Rana. We have no film background, but we deeply felt for the story that we wanted to say. And that's when our journey kind of started from, the corporate background that we were working at. And from there, we decided to make this film called Mali, which is an independent film. So the Kapoors and the Indian film industry that you're talking about is too big. Our film, I think, is big at heart. But like I said, it's not a commercial film, but it's a film that talks about a very globally pertinent conversation around deforestation and mental health. So yeah, I mean, it's something that we've seen around us for a long time. I've lived and grown up in Mumbai, a city in India, and I've seen the transition for last 30 years of my existence here in this planet Earth. I've seen that transition of that city, and that's been one of my inspiration, to make this film called Mali, which is going to premiere at the prestigious Queen's World Film Festival on the 4th of November. We are voice under the category of Voices of India. So I'm really excited that a lot more people will get to experience what we've experienced while making the film. So the two very critical things that we kind of narrate through the film. At one end, we have a eco warrior. There are so many people across the globe who create forest on their own by planting trees. And I don't think I even know a fraction of them. But yeah, there are a few that have inspired us to make this film. Like Tulsi Gowda is one of the very renowned 80-year-old lady who's planted like a forest on her own. So that's been one of our inspiration to make this film called Mali, a gardener. And on the other end, there is the city life that I've been a part of, where people go through eco anxiety, depression, and mental health issues. So this is what we've tried to kind of bring out in our film, where we've shown two different worlds. One which is closer to nature, and what happens when you are as humans when we go away from nature. So that's kind of what we wanted to say through our film called Mali. And I'm going to request everyone to participate, and please come and watch the film on the 4th of November at Flushing Town Hall. So really excited.
Oh, that's very exciting. Let me just ask one one question, because in that you're very humble, and but besides that, by stating you never made a film, which is exciting. What would you say to somebody that never made a film but is passionate about a subject matter? How did you just sort of briefly-ish, how did you go about then taking your vision of this concerning scenario and now doing something about it and using media as film as your vehicle? How'd you do that?
So Paul, Sonali and I, Sonali is the producer and the co-writer. We've written the film together. I've directed the film. We started this journey in 2019, which is into 3 years ago. We started this journey, and it's been a long journey. I mean, we've gone through a lot while making this film, because I'm sure everyone who's made an independent film and have no film background will kind of relate to what emotion one goes through while making a film, because it's not easy. When we started the journey, we left our corporate job, and we decided that storytelling is what our calling was, and we wanted to be honest. I think the first thing that we started with was being honest about not getting very excited about the vanity of the entire thing that comes with the film, but being very innocent and honest about what we wanted to communicate. So that's when we decided on a story that we've lived. So firstly, when you are a self-taught filmmaker, you need to communicate a story and experience a memory, because that's how the story can be built, from your memories that you've seen, or a subject that you really feel passionately for. So environment is something that we really, really feel for, and we keep doing our bits. And that's how our journey started on this story. So firstly, like I said, it has to be the passion and the honesty of what the subject will be and how you want to say. And then getting people, because, as how much ever you want, you can't make the film on your own. So you need equally passionate people with you through this journey, and it has to be someone, the kids who worked actually, there's a beautiful story. Sonali and I live in Mumbai. When we wrote the story, we felt that there is this place called Uttarakhand in India. We felt that that was the right location for this story to be told, but we didn't know anyone out there. So we went on our own, and we lived in that place for 3 years. And we got everyone, right from the DOP to the guy who's given the music. And these are all 21-year-old kids who are also, again, first timers who have no film background at all. So the cinematographers, 21-year-old kids, two DOPs we had, Ritik Naudiyal and Ankit Shrestha, again from Uttarakhand. local boys from here who knew exactly, didn't have the experience, but they had the passion, like I said. And Shashwat Mal, who's given the music for the film, again, a 21-year-old boy from Uttarakhand, very passionate. So this is how I think, as a filmmaker, it's very important to get, uh, it's not about the experience, but it's about the passion and the dedication that one shows. So they've been with us for almost a year and a half through the pandemic, when we didn't know how things are going to, go ahead, what's going to happen, because we had shot a bit of our film, and then we had to wait for 6 months and then again resume. A few of our actors were not ready to come back, so we had to change the cast. So there was a long journey, but patience, passion, and perseverance, these are the three things that everyone who's been a part of the film, of the team had. And and we sailed through, and we're so excited,
That's great.
that we could
Great.
connect with you, with Katha, with Dawn, and we're at a global platform called Queen's Film Festival. So very excited.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. Katha's, putting on a film festival is serious business.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't want to have to do what she does. And to continue doing it for so many years. Katha, tell us now, I mean, these are two great examples of concerned citizens for the subject matter, for creation of something that can live on and can educate and could go into schools, could go into many places and have a serious discussion about scenarios. So let's get back to the film festival itself. Katha, tell us now, what's next steps here for everybody?
So for the next few days, it's just details you can't see, but we have mountains of supplies for each of the 5 venues. They're starting to go out today. We're doing projector tests this morning at Town Hall. We will be at the local later. Momi has their drive. Queen's Theater then will be next. Basically what it is, you take the big rock, you break it up into as many small rocks as you can. You pick up the rock and you put it where it goes. And when the pile is gone, then you're done. And sometimes you step on a rock. Sometimes you put the rock in the wrong place and you just apologize and take however long it takes to make it right and keep going. I'm wondering if either one of these people felt like giving up at all, since when the pandemic hit was in your process. I don't want to take the mic away from Paul, but I thought I'd ask a question. I mean, did you feel like giving up, Dolly? Was there ever a time where you're just like, we can't do this. We can't do this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, making a film is a very, very challenging thing from every aspect of it. And especially when I'm sure Chief can relate to it, especially when the theme of the film is so personal and also so critical. You always have to overthink everything you decide to show. And then also there's the funding and the other people, and there's so much that then those moments come that you want to give up and throw away everything, and then there's come a new wave and you're super motivated. And it's also a long process. I mean, also for us, it's like 3 years. And because of the pandemic, for example, we had to do most of the work remotely from the others, and different time. I mean, I'm in Berlin, Leila in Montreal, so we had time difference.
Oh boy, wow. Chief, did you have the similar situation a couple times?
Yes, I mean, the energies that we had here in Uttarakhand. There's a place called Dehradun. I don't know if I'm sure you guys might have heard, because there are a lot of celebrities who come here from Hollywood. Like John Lennon had visited Dehradun, and Steve Jobs had come to Dehradun, to find his before he started his company Apple. So and we also discovered ourselves in this place during the pandemic, and there was a lot of realization that happened during that period. Giving up was not an option for us, never ever, because we had kind of put all our effort in creating this. So even while we were facing the tough time, what we did was we made few short films living inside that house that we were put up in Dehradun. So all the kids, like I mentioned, everyone came together and everyone made a short film just to keep ourselves busy and just to kind of ensure ourselves that yes, we can make a film, because everyone was a new first time filmmaker, or was associating themselves for the first time with a film, with a feature film. So yeah, I mean, we were motivated. Yes, it was a difficult time, but I think it was very it was when you reflect about those times today, I think it was a way of nature to tell us that let me heal. You guys just feel how it feels to be caged. You be inside your house, and we cage animals. So I felt like I could feel the pain. I could feel the what an animal would go through when we cage them, or when we cage nature, when we try to cage nature, or when we try to hurt nature. So that was one of the things that came to us, and we also wrote something around that. And there was a phase where we were trying to relook at our script. So that also gave us a lot of time to relook at what we were doing and how can we better it. So for us, it was quite a positive time productively spent on how do we communicate our story in a more impactful way. So
Gotcha.
pandemic, for me, I mean, how I look at it has been pretty positive in that sense, because it's helped me reflect on what we were doing.
Let me ask you one last question, each one of you, okay? Because actually we have 6 minutes left because I have this only 40-minute Zoom call thing. All right. So here's the question: what is peace? Since we're involved with the International Day of Peace for 20 years, and I started a movie in 1989 called Woodstock Forever. Woodstock, I did, and I've been working on that since then. You're passionate. Everybody on here is passionate. What does peace mean to you, Shiv? What's peace for you? What's peace?
Peace is something that can coexist. Coexisting with others is peace for me, where you have love, compassion for each other. That's peace for me. So peace has a broader meaning, where the equality is also peace for me. So largely, love and being compassionate towards others is what I would say peace means to me.
Okay, Gali, what's peace for you?
Yeah, I think
Thank you, Chief.
one word, it's being compassion. And if it's between human being and our animals, all the creatures, it's about having compassion and understanding the person or the creature that's standing next to you, and being able to put yourself in his shoes for a moment and respect it.
Nice. All right, Katha, for you, sum it all up. What's peace for you?
Well, this is a pretty tough planet. There's stuff hits us from outer space. Things move and shift, and water is there where it wasn't. Hills fall, mountains erupt. And to me, peace is the ability to weather that with compassion and allowing for the disruptedness to happen, and to not be engaged in the pushing and the pulling of that, but to be engaged in the making space for these changes, no matter if they're brought to you physically, metaphysically, emotionally. It's a very tough planet, and we're not very good to each other. And so peace to me would be the ability to weather all of this and remain good to each other.
All right, that's the plan. And just the final details, your website and where people should go to learn more.
queensfestival.org. You can go to the special event page, to the current page, and it just lists out every single screening event. There's 43 of them. And if you click on any of those that interest you, you'll see the themes that are being explored, the links to the films. Or you can go to a tab called The Films. And as you scroll down, they're alphabetical. You can find something that it interests you. And they're also sorted on that tab by genre. So we want you to find the stories that appeal to you, but we also want you to see stories that challenge you. And we don't care whether you think that they're good or they're bad. They're art. They are to be experienced. You are to reflect upon them.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for sharing the good news with us.
Thank you.
See you at the
Thank you.
movies, someone
Thank you
else
very
once said. All right, stay there. Bye-bye.
See you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
My pleasure.